Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs and pokey yokes. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dough. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I'll take my keys to go home. Then say I was done while rush to end it all. It feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can thank the thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or death since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and many blessings, y'all. Y'all know what it is. What's up? What's up, brother Ultra Instinct? How will you be? What's going on? Today's Tuesday, November 25th, in the year 2025. What's up, Cosmic Chaos? Greetings and gratitude. How are you? It's a great day today. It looks like a summer day today, y'all. It is like it's like 76 degrees. It's kind of perfect. No clouds in the sky. It is a perfect day. It's like a summer day, but it is November. It's almost December. What's up, Sharon? How are you? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings at Legacy Sigma. What's going on? All right. So I hope that y'all are having a great day and a great start to the week. And if you celebrate the holidays, I hope you have a great holiday tomorrow. When is it? 2 days from now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hope y'all are having many blessings. You know, I hope y'all are putting some work in, putting the magic in, because you really only have friends on the other side as far as Black people are concerned. You know, I hate to come right after a positive message and say that, but it is the absolute truth. It is all around us. Everything is just out in the open, blatant, you know. So whenever Black people decide to get their hairs out their asses, remember I was militant way before I became an occultist. So yeah, I know that they are waiting for us to collectively, you know, rise up. Yada, yada, yada. Peace, Bobby. What's the deal, man? How are you? Funny you titled this show as you did. I've mentioned most of my support comes from the other realm. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Peace, Mooney. How are you? I show this clip every time I see it. I share it, you know, because let's look at the clip. Check this clip out, y'all. It's old, too.
You people, you're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us. And I hope that happens. very soon.
As I said, I show this every time I see it. Everything is the same as it has always been. And like I said, I hope people just at the very least, get into the spiritual sciences. And, once you get into the spiritual sciences, the occult sciences, you rise in your thinking. Not just rise your vibration and your aura and everything. Your thinking becomes differently. Grammar police. It becomes different. You know what I mean? Shout out to the missus. That's a good topic right there. Night magic. There's a grimoire from Castanosis. I can't really say his name. Called Night Magic. That's really good. If you don't have it, I will slip it to you. What's up, Mike Yall? Olivia Pope's dad. Yeah, that's him. I don't even know what the rest of the show was about, but that clip, I show it at least 2 times a year. I show it every time I see it. Peace, Mike IL. Has anyone watched the show The Good Place? No, not heard of that, but I hear so many things about Welcome to Derry. I have not seen it yet, but I think Ani did a live about it like yesterday or the day before. Peace, Lloyd. What's the deal? And remember also, I said that you know how I say they're making magic available and distorting the messages and dumbing it down so that anybody can get out there and use it. Chaos magic in particular. Remember I said that this is the best, in my opinion, this is the best book on chaos magic. There's a little bit of everything in here, right? They now have a book called Chaos Magic for Dummies. Have any of you heard of it or seen it? I do not have the grimoire. I know I didn't pronounce it right. Give me a second. I want to find it now that I said it. It's called Night Magic. All right, so that's not what I see right now, but this is another book called The Book of Night Magic by Philip D. Williams. Bobby, you might be interested in this one also. Philip D. Williams, The Book of Night Magic. Okay. Evil is this only in the hearts of men, not in this book and not in nature. If you are offended by anything that challenges the world you want to believe in, stop now, turn back. We won't be offended. All materials herein are offered for view at no cost. You're free to make copies for yourself, but not others. No right shall ever be granted for you to sell any media that contains any of the graphics or writings within. Please respect this with respect. All right. In the table of contents, what's a night magician? Why practice night magic? How to study the lore? Yada, yada, yada. Invocation to night magic. It looks earth magic. Then you got water magic, air magic, and fire magic. This is one of those hidden gems. I will put this actually in Patreon for those of you who are signed up. Look at what's listed under air magic. Look at this. Power thought, silent magician, hypnotism, a pendulum, crystal globe, psychometry, telepathy, mental projection, and creative visualization. Hidden gem, one of those hidden gems. But the book I am actually referring to is it's a really good book. Costin. God damn it, I can't remember the name of it. Night magic or nocturnal magic. Let's see. I'm gonna find it. Just give me a minute, y'all. Give me a second here. I got so many books. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna find this book. It's a must. That's what I heard. And like I said, Ani did like a 3-4 hour lecture on. Well, that was part of it, but I'm going to get to it eventually. I think they're only on like episode 6 or 7. The Good Place isn't new. Please look it up and into it if you're led. Also, another one that I want to recommend to people while I'm thinking about it, because I'm about to get back into it myself, is called Midnight Texas. As a matter of fact, what's her name? Damn, I can't remember her name anymore. Light skinned chick. Sprinkle. What's her name? Damn it. I can't remember her name. Damn. What's up, D. Coleman? Peace. How are you? I checked for the night magic room. Okay. Cool. 5. Something. Costanos something. I cannot. Now it's going to drive me crazy. Y'all know I'm a Virgo. It is a retrograde. Costan night magic. Or nocturnal magic or something. The Book of Night Magic. So, the author. Constantinos. Nocturnal Witchcraft. I'm way off. It's called Nocturnal Witchcraft. Yeah, I found it as soon as I spelled it right. All right, y'all. I found it. I'm going to put this in the Patreon, but it is a gem. This one is, honestly, I recommend it if you are like intermediate. You might want this one, Nocturnal Witchcraft. There we go. Magic After Dark. Okay. Nocturnal Witchcraft. All right. This is a really good book. Okay. He has some other great books, like the Gothic Grimoire is really fucking excellent. Summoning Spirits, another great one, especially if you're trying to get into evocation. It is he writes some really good books. But this one in particular, Nocturnal Witchcraft. Okay. I will share both grimoires in the Patreon. All right. Miss Sprinkles. Ashira. Yeah, there you go. Dominic. What's up, man? Ashira. She's the one who put me on to Midnight Texas long time ago. It had to be, I want to say 9-10 years ago. What's up, Tosh? How are you? Namaste. Yeah, Shira 7. Yeah. Lixer, what's the deal? What's going on? Oh, back to what I was saying though. Here's the book. Chaos Magic for Dummies. I mean, they are really dumbing all this stuff down. there's really, you know, nothing hidden, nothing, just, you ain't got to really search for anything anymore, to be quite honest. Andrea Vitimus, Chaos Magic for Dummies. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this. All right. So yeah. There's also, I think Denise Alvarado's coming out with a book called Voodoo for Dummies, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, they're just coming out with them. White magic is poetry. Black magic is anything that works. Victor Anderson, ever heard this before? I've heard something similar to that, you know, but what I say to that, magic is magic is magic. You know, it's in the eyes of the beholder, so to speak. You know, it is really up to the magician. It is really up to, you know, there's no black and white. There's no evil, nothing. It just is. And it just, the techniques and the will of the practitioner, that's what makes it, or gets it to be called or labeled black magic, right? In my eyes, black magic is strong. You know what I mean? It's strong. It involves the use and the summoning of demons and jinn. You know what I mean? Loa, orishas. Okay. White magic is everything else. Angelic magic, magic that does no harm, that is light and fluffy and rainbows and unicorns and we are the world and fucking, you know, all this light fluffy shit. To me, that's what it is. So yeah. What's up, Chikezi? Peace, peace, peace. All right. So but again, you know, I just wish that since nothing has changed, I just wish that black people would get into something. And here goes my camera going out again. Sure. Why wouldn't that happen? You know what I mean? 1 second, y'all. Why wouldn't that happen? This happened in Houston or Houston University. This is why I say things haven't changed. And this is why I like to mix in awareness and consciousness and militancy and occultism, because shit like this has happened. This is a lawsuit that has been filed.
Practice Jim Crow against Black Americans in Houston. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. At Houston Community College, right? The Chandler Caesar, he's a Hispanic man. He got together with the director of HR and the board of trustees, and they came up with this plan to get rid of Black employees at high positions. They did anything from putting false complaints in their folders so they could get demoted or get fired. And then they replaced these Black employees with Hispanics. Hispanics went up. The hiring for Hispanics went up 50%. These three individuals orchestrated the plan. And this is what they stated in their emails. Now, we Hispanics are going to receive preferential treatment. This plan was successful, targeting Black top employees. Now they got a class action suit against Houston Community College for $100 million. They have to come up with some type of settlement by 2026. But yeah, let Houston tell it. They'll tell you like brown and Black unity.
It's coming.
And it's important that we don't fall for the multicultural agenda, because the multicultural agenda is all about confusing black folk as to who their allies are. If we can get black folk to see the Latinos as their allies, if we can get black folk to see the Mexicans and the poor white and the poor Korean and the poor Vietnamese and the poor Arab and the poor East Indian as their allies, we can dominate them more effectively, because the people they're building coalitions with are the people we're financing to oppress them. But because they see them as a friend, because they see them as an ally, they won't even recognize the strategy that we're putting in place. So the new racism is to make you identify with people of color and then finance the people of color to replace you. The new white man wears a brown face.
Isn't that crazy? That is crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But like I said, nothing, absolutely nothing has changed. I'm still trying to get my camera together here, y'all. So bear with me. I meant to ask you, give me a second, I'm still sharing. I meant to ask you last live if you work with the seals of Moses or Solomonic, do you have to honor the spirits that preside over the specific seal? Great question there. Give me one moment. Let me see if I can get this damn camera work. Or I might have to do something else. So just bear with me 1 second, because I ain't putting up with this shit today. I really ain't. It's gonna have to be something else. All right. All right, y'all can see me, right? Okay. Yes, I work with the seals. Weren't you present at the last live legacy? Because I showed you the seals that I was working with or have in the past. I was showing the seals that I actually had laminated. You know what I mean? You know, I used also like the 6 and 7 books of Moses. Okay. So yeah, I do work with the seals of Solomon. Here are some of the seals from the 6 and 7 books of Moses. All right. Underrated form of magic. Solomonic magic is very prevalent in Kabbalistic magic. I suggest, I have been suggesting working with that. So yeah, I do. What's up, Sister Righteous? How are you? It is crazy, right? I ain't even finished. I really isn't. I agree. Magic is magic. Kabbalistic magic is considered dayside magic, and it works. Then there's the Book of the Old Ones, which is neither side. The Book of the Old Ones is one of my favorites because it is so powerful. It's so simple, you know, and you're using the aesthetics of Lovecraft. You know what I mean? You're using the aesthetics of Lovecraft, like you're using Cthulhu and Dagon, you know, Yog Sothoth. You see what I mean? So the Book of the Old Ones, another gem. I've spoke extensively about that one. I mean, I've gone in on that one years ago. Book of the Old Ones. By Scorpio. Okay. By Scorpio. That's just a pseudonym. All right. Remember, I say that work with the easy shit. Why not? Till you get comfortable. The Book of the Old Ones, y'all. Okay. Scorpio. Of course, it's Finbar. It's a Finbar book. Okay. This came out in, I think, the 70s. Oh, it says 2002, but I think came out way before that. I don't know. Look at this. Secrets of the Necronomicon. Different kind of magic. The sign of the elder ones. The ritual of the old ones. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay. Spells work mysteriously. The invocation of the old ones. the vital. It's just a lot in here. Okay. You got many rituals in here also. All right. There's also a Kabbalistic grimoire that's very similar to this. Okay. The NAP, New Avatar Power, very similar to this. All right. Look at all those mini rituals you can do. Okay. It is really good. All right. These are the deities that you use in here. Azathoth, Yog-Sothoth, Nyarlathotep, Hastur, Cthulhu, and Shub-Niggurath. Think about that name, y'all. Niggurath. Like Bobby said, it'll never be the masses. Exactly. Peace, Pretty Penny Slim. Okay. Interesting name there. Based on what I've read about Solomonian magic, it is wise to honor the demons. It can be done by following the exact instructions to summon, bind, and exorcise it. Okay. Houston is that capital for the Vatican. A great amount of warlocks, etc. I know for a fact. And there you have it. I was trying to say it without saying it, but thank you, Cosmic Chaos. That ain't new. It's always been like that. Exactly. I'm not sure. Did something happen to him? I spoke to him not long ago. Okay, because someone that we knew mutually has transitioned, and so I was letting him know. But I thought the Galactica talk was still going. If something happened, is news to me. The less tradition in the summoning, binding, and exorcism used in Solomonian magic, the greater the risk of what may happen during demonic possession, i.e., not drawing a protective circle to stay in. Here's what happened to my Blake. So Mooney did notice that. I took it away. I took the background away because I'm not dealing with the retrograde and the cameras today. I had 2 cameras set up here. I'm not fucking with it today. But good eye, Mooney. Good eye. Rigging an election using magic. Why bother? How about that? Why bother? The stuff that I'll be talking about on this channel and the magic they do is on a total different level. It's huge. All right. They practice magic, but they don't call it that. They just call it by different names. And they do it on millions of people at a time. That's how powerful that shit is. That's how powerful fucking the media is. And this is why they spend so much time and so much money in marketing, making Black people look like an ass. Our peeps. What's up? Ben the bartender. Great question. I ain't seen Taino and hello. Oh man, y'all gonna make me I'm gonna reach out to him. I think he's okay. I've not heard anything, so I'm gonna reach out to him. The sigil of the old ones involves a pentagram, a 5-pointed star. Azariah deciphered the meaning of this archetype as meaning constant elevation and expansion of power and psychic ability. No, I have to email him my number. He hasn't posted in a while. I've seen him not long ago, so now you got me worried. Y'all got me worried, but that's a Virgo. Virgo's a natural worrier, but I'm going to reach out to him as soon as this is over with, okay? I got more that I want y'all to hear from Dr. Claude Anderson. He explains, and like I said, I like to mix in the militancy and the awareness and consciousness in this because it's relevant. It's absolutely relevant because Black people still under a spell and still walking around here and not knowing they're in a fucking war. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. But here we go. Claude Anderson, y'all. He explained something here.
You mentioned that Blacks will be pretty much a permanent underclass in America by the year 2015.
A permanent underclass.
2015, because what I've concluded from analysis is that there's going to be a converging of social factors nationally and internationally that's going to place blacks in a permanent status of underclassship. And we anticipate by that point in time, based on all the research that's coming to us, that the next generation of whites is going to be more anti-black than they've been since the Civil Rights Movement. 2, we anticipate by the same token about 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and about 41 million Asians by that point in time, which is going to kick black folk out of being the minority in the society down to a minority. We've been number 2 in the society for 400 years as a group. We're going to become number 4. And if we have not gotten anything after being number 2 for 400 years, you guess what's going to happen when we become number 4. Because at that point in time, all the new groups coming into America, they're coming in higher than we are, because this country operates off of a preferential acceptance program, which means that groups are coming in based on skin color. They're going from the lightest down to the darkest. Light, yellow, brown, black. And that's what our immigration laws are based on. And black folk will not be able to penetrate through those groups to get to the white society when that happens, because those groups owe us nothing. They don't understand our problems, and they're competitive with us, and we don't begin to be a little more aggressive about being in a competitive posture. They're going to eat our lunches.
And there you have it. Like I told y'all, nothing has changed. This is why I talk about it so much, but all is not lost. You got friends on the other side. That's what I mean by that. Okay. If you don't know, then you really are fucking lost. I did the statistics in a couple lives ago about what's the probability of any black person becoming a millionaire in the United States. The percentage is less than 5%. It's less than 5%. Okay. Less than 5%. All right. When I say you got friends on the other side, I mean just that, because that's where the power is. All right. This is why they show you so much. This is why I was stressing Lovecraft Country so hard when it came out. I'm like, are y'all watching this? Are y'all really watching this? Do you understand what they are saying to y'all? See what I mean? When I was in college, one of the first things we learned, I think it was marketing. It was either marketing or microeconomics. One of those classes, one of the first things they taught us is that the United States would be mostly brown by the year 2005. Like Hispanics would be the majority by that year. You know what I mean? Oh, there's more. There's lots more. Here is another look, and I found it interesting that at the very beginning of Watchmen with Regina King, the very first episode focused on Black Wall Street. Remember Black Wall Street? You'd be surprised at how many people do not know anything about Black Wall Street. In New York City, we had our own everything. Movie theater, bank, doctor's office, hotel, bootcamp. We were independent, self-sufficient. Speaking of which, the last remaining survivor of Black Wall Street just passed a few days ago. She was 111 years old. You know what I mean? 111 years old. Okay. People are like, people still are throwing around terms like shadow magic and not really understanding what it is. I think y'all don't think I'm jumping topic to topic. It's all relevant to what I'm speaking about here. But when I talk about shadow magic, this is why I say there's so many ways of going about shadow magic. There's so many different forms of it. You know what I mean? And one of those is by way of the shadow tarot. All right. Remember I showed y'all the shadow tarot? This shadow tarot. Okay. One of those realm, I mean, it's intense. I ain't gonna lie, it is intense, and it's mostly advanced practitioners that have to do it. Okay. But since I spoke about it before, I felt, talk about it right now. All right. Shadow magic. Give me a second. Not shadow magic, but the shadow tarot. All right. This is that book. It wasn't available till recently. Okay. This is one of the jinn, I should say, that's involved in like the sphere of the moon, related to the tarot card, the moon. Quilefli. I know I'm butchering the name, but if you can see this right here, let me see if I can enhance it. Look at this. The powers of this tunnel include enhanced imagination, the ability to astral travel, as well as power to affect subtle levels, as in casting spells and bewitchment. Here's affinity with the moon, with water, crystals, and natural tides. Here resides prophetic dreams, clairvoyance, and artistic vision, which see magic as neither white nor black, but colorful. Here, too, we access the dark body sorceries of ancient Egypt, Kim, the Black Land. Here's access to the fertile radiations of the dark goddess Black Isis, Isis, and the forbidden power zone of Amenta. Bobby Hemmett speaks about Amenta in one of his lectures. Okay, this is called the Shadow Tarot. This is one of the ways you access deep levels of your subconscious, basically. Okay, each realm relates to one of the cards of the tarot. All right, and we were just talking about Quilefel. I ain't gonna try to. I am not gonna try to pronounce that, but I've got the book also, Shadow Tarot, as well as the deck. Okay, this is that card. Quileffi. Telling you those names are they're off. But anyway, Cults of the Shadow by Kenneth Grant goes through each realm and how you can use these realms to access deep parts of your subconscious mind, the Shadow Tarot. All right. This deck was $40. Here we go. Okay. Same one I'm talking about. Quileffi. All right, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Okay. I read to you that Quileffi gives power to enter the storehouse of dreams, the Akashic records, the storehouse of racial and genetic memory, recapitulating the evolutionary part passed via the cerebellum, the back brain. Quileffi cough, the back of the head. Thus, falling backward out of time from universe A into the dream time of universe B, everything is possible. Austin Osman Spare suggests gazing at one's thumb illumined by the moon until the eye go out of focus, when the thumb becomes an opalescence, fantastic reflection of oneself. The energies of Quileffi are signaled when we find we are requiring little sleep, or in our sleep we find a lack of dreams, signaled by discomfort with uncertainty and shadow and lack of imagination. Quileffi is signaled by excess of superstition, nightmares, and of fear. Quileffi may bring horror of the preternatural as expressed in the writing of Lovecraft, or even an irrational dislike of everyday domestic cats. Okay, some deep shit here. All right, but like I said, A full breakdown can be gained by reading the works of Kenneth Grant. All right. Kenneth Grant, the student of Aleister Crowley. They go deep, deep, deep into it. Okay. All right. Here's another one by Claude Anderson. He goes in. All right. In a lot of his lectures, he goes completely in. All right. On Black people and what they need to do. Okay. Check this out.
Cannot build wealth and power until you have a community. We are the only people in this nation that do not have one single solitary community.
Not
you cannot
one.
acquire power and wealth without a community. And yet we do not have one single Black community in America. That's from New York to San Diego. To have a community, you must have three things in it, Paul. You must have a wholly independent economic structure, just like you got one down in Asia town. Two, you must have a code of conduct on how you're going to treat each other, and how you're going to interact with each other, and how you're going to deal with each other and bargain with each other. And thirdly, you must have some form of governance that will control and regulate the behavior of people in your community and deal with other organizations outside your community. Blacks do not qualify on either one of those terms. We do not have communities. So consequently, without a community, you have no place to store your wealth, your value, your history, your culture, your employment, and your business opportunities. You cannot be.
Okay. Where's the lie? There's not one lie. We don't have communities. There's no little Black America. You know what I mean? No little Africa, if that's what you want to have. You know, but you always have Chinatown, you always have Little Italy, you know what I'm saying? Russia, fucking Poland, and everybody has a community except us. All right. And you saw what they did to Black Wall Street. Saw what they did, you know, with the help of the government, GUVMENT, you know, because who else has access to planes? All right. They destroyed that fucking town. Okay, out of pure jealousy. Wasn't nothing else. Wasn't nobody raped. This is all the excuses that they needed. All right. All right. So white nationalism is having a resurgence. So it seems Dr. Claude is right. Right. Exactly. Thanks, Bobby. You are absolutely correct. A resurgence. This is why I'm talking about it so much. This is why I'm mixing it in with magic and occultism and spirituality. All right. It's all relevant. Okay. It's all irrelevant. But you got people walking around here with TikTok on their phones and looking at that all day instead of knowing what happened to Black Wall Street and other towns that happened to. It's not the only race riot that happened. Okay. I spoke about this before. All right. So I said you got friends on the other side. That's exactly what I meant. All right. If you watch American Horror Story, Coven, okay, Marie Laveau showed you how to use the other side. Okay. She showed you. Redford Rations. The last survivor of the Black Wall Street Massacre just passed away at 111. Right. Yeah. There were a lot of Black. Thank you, Sister Righteous. She's absolutely right. But like I said, people walk around here with computers in their pockets and watching TikTok all day, every day, and not looking at anything that's relevant. All right. We don't have anything to sustain us. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. And like Bobby said, a resurgence of white nationalism. Okay. What do we have to fall back on? Pull some cards? No, sir. I'm sorry. I don't do that. I'm sorry. I was just showing you the cards. I wasn't trying to tease y'all now, but I don't do that. They always want to focus on Tulsa like we didn't run this whole spot. Exactly. There were a lot of Black Wall Streets. Okay. What is the difference between an oracle deck and a tarot deck? The difference is in the way that they're used and the traditional cards. That's the only difference. So each card in the Shadow Tarot deck represents the 22 paths and 10 sephira clip off of the Tree of Life and or not. Exactly. That's exactly right. Not totally, because some of these are Goetia. All right. See, like you have Yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to say this shit because I know I'm not saying it right. This card that represents the moon, but you also got Baal. That's the Goetia. Barbatos. That's the Goetia. All right. Balaam, the Goetia. Rafiflu, which people go into for riches, for money. Rafiflu. That's the Shadow Tarot. Okay. And Zuflifu. Same thing. Shadow Tarot. All right. This is a watcher. It's an oracle. Okay. Capella. All right. Bathin's Goetia. Okay. Ammon. Goetia. Another Shadow Tarot. So they represent the 22 paths and 10 Sephirah, but you got other things in it. I would suggest a Google search. I'm not trying to be funny. I was trying to get the other things because they have great information on the Shadow Tarot. If you decide to buy it, on the front, it says these cards are of our shadow energies from that remote time when the feminine held power and all manner of magical being existed upon earth. Okay, that's what it says at the beginning. All right, the Shadow Tarot is worth it, in my opinion. Stick with the Rider-Waite deck. It's the best that hasn't been taught. Okay, we could take a state, preferably in the West. It is difficult to get copper tone people to agree on a ground of commonality. There are spokespersons from the grassroots trying to get it to happen, like the B1 movement or Tariq Nasheed. I totally agree with that. Here's yet another one. All right. Here's another one. Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay, give me a second. Not that one. Here we go. Right here. Damn it. This one.
1618 up until 1866, blacks were slaves. They didn't belong to any party, and they got slavery out of it. From 1866 to 1936, about 96% of all the blacks in the United States belonged to the Republican Party. What they got was Jim Crowism out of it. From 1936 up to 1996, almost 97% of all the blacks in the United States belong to the Democratic Party. What they've gotten is benign neglect. So partisanship is not the issue. The issue is that black folk have never had an effective strategy for dealing with white racism in this country. That's the issue. You can win as a minority population if you learn and find out how it's been done in the past. Jews are a minority religious group, but they do win. The National Rifle Association is a minority social civic group, but they do win. The wealthy elite in this country is a minority group, but they do win. When will we sit down and strategize? How do we win as a minority? 1618.
Right. How do we win? You know what I mean? How? Prior to the Tower of Babylon incident, was mankind of one voice. Scott's, who that's? Is that the doctor? Is that you, sir? I pray we are getting closer. To directly answer this, not sure. I see it as an allegory of the disinformation sent out to keep people outside of a ruling class, divided and unable to stand and be sovereign. That's a very interesting statement there. But like I said, you can win. All right. You have friends on the other side. This is what I was speaking about, like the Shadow Tarot, the Jinn. Okay. All your peoples. I'm not saying that facetiously. I mean it literally. Okay. The Orishas. Right. There's a great book for those who are trying to get into one of the ATR, Santeria. Okay, Rituals and Spells of Santeria. Magine Gonzalez Whippler. Okay, damn, moving shit. You got simple spells in here, like for money or for protection of the home. A large blue flag is placed somewhere around the house and always kept there. Real simple. For money, a plate of fried green bananas and fried pork rinds is offered to Yemaya. The bananas must be sliced very thin so that they are crispy. After 7 days, the offering is brought to the sea with 7 cents. Okay, real simple. You take an offering to Yemaya on a Monday. What you can do, you take 16 pennies. All right, 16 pennies. You put 4. You go to a crossroads and you put 4 pennies on each corner of the crossroads, and you petition Papa Legba on a Monday. Real simple magic. Real simple. This shit works. I shouldn't say shit. This stuff works. All right. This stuff works. Hi, I'm very white. I never thought people could be so evil in these days. I'm targeted by Masons and other groups, not only Magic, also electronic weapons, ELF, EMT waves. Okay. Hi. Yeah. That's Magic. I thought so. Okay. You're the only one that I know that uses that avatar. What's going on? I have friends of many brothers. I have friends of many brothers and sisters. Okay. I did that, and the ritual is very powerful. Why I suggest Bobby Hemmett's lecture in London. He gives out so much. In 3 hours, he gives out these simple spells like the ones I just gave you. But remember the big money spell he gave out involving Urzuli or Oshun. Okay. You just need a paper bag. You need a thumbtack. You need a table. You need a parchment paper, some honey. Real simple, though. It's called a big money spell. He said these people were in New York. They were invited. It cost $100 to get in just to get that spell. It's called the big money ritual. You know what I mean? Big money ritual. Bacon and plantains. I'm thinking so, Righteous. Sister Righteous. I think so. I think so. Peace. What's up, Guru Wiz? What's the deal, brother? Parchment paper. Yes. Yes, ma'am. What else we got here? Did y'all hear about the 12-year-old black student swings on his teacher, but the teacher, she hit him back? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. You ever heard of Michelle Alexander? She wrote a book. Okay. Check this out. She grew up watching her black father get pulled over and over again, while her white mother drove past police without a single glance. Michelle Alexander noticed the pattern long before she knew the name for it. Years later, at the ACLU, she saw the numbers that changed her life. More black men were in prison than had been enslaved in 1850. Same country, different system, same purpose. White teenager with cocaine was sent to treatment. Black teenager with crack was sent to prison for years. Same drug, different fate. She wrote a paper showing that mass incarceration was the new Jim Crow. 15 journals rejected it, too controversial, too uncomfortable, and too true. So she turned the rejected paper into a book. The new Jim Crow arrived in 2010 and forced America to face the reality it tried to hide, that the justice system did not accidentally target black communities. It was built that way. One felony conviction meant no vote, no housing, no jobs, no second chance, legal discrimination that followed people for life. Michelle Alexander revealed the design behind the numbers, that the United States did not end racial control, simply redesigned it through prisons. Her work became one of the most important civil rights books of the century because she said clearly what no one wanted to hear: the system was not broken. It was functioning exactly as intended. Okay. This is why I focus on it so much, like I said, because absolutely nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. Except we're just going around dumber, thinking things have changed. And you only got friends on the other side. Black people have absolutely no fucking friends. None. All right. No friends. There was a one more clip. It says that I think Dr. Umar Johnson said something about how we have no friends. I was just looking at, damn. Oh, I got this one too. Yeah, I might go a little over. All right, check this out. There's a white woman who went off on white people.
Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture? You go and live in it. You live in it, bathe in it. Like that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from Black culture. And to see these fat ass, pink arm, teeny weeny beta pricks with their ugly ass wives walk into this Mexican restaurant and sit down and smile and be friendly. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat ass over to Cracker Barrel, but do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat people and you want to browbeat Black people as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Hankel's McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant, get your fat ass over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your smug, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that.
Now, when your own people start snapping on you, is really a problem. If you want to learn more about why they are the way they are and what makes them so, all you need to do is text the word origins to 219-299-49. And don't argue with me, argue with your mama and fight these facts. Get it?
Text origins to Young Kinda Don's number. Do it now.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was funny to me. I have a weird sense of humor, but that was funny. I'm sorry. That was funny. I had a clip of Dr. Umar Johnson speaking too. And of course, I can't fucking find it now. What was he saying? He was saying, shit. I can't find it, y'all. Here's this. This another thing that
said that white people successfully convinced us that we had to die to experience heaven, while they swindled and plotted and schemed their way to heaven right here on earth for themselves. And hold on now, white people. What's going on here?
That's old, though. You should know that by now. Okay? You should know that one, at least. If you don't know that one, you're exactly what I'm talking about when I say people are walking around here, phone in their hands, in their pockets, and don't know shit. Because all they're watching is TikTok videos and shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to come back to it, y'all. I can't find it. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to it. Maybe I can find it real quick because I'm already over. I need to go eat. I finished Jessica Jones, y'all. I finished The Punisher and I finished Daredevil. I'm now on Luke Cage. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to it as soon as I can find it again. God damn it. Yeah, I lost it. Shit. Okay. All right, so Friday I'll be back. And I actually want to continue this particular topic, y'all, because I think it's a topic that continues to need to be had. All right. He may be a con man. Okay. That's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's an opinion. So I'm not going to go with that. I think the sacrifice is the shame of doing the ritual when people look at you. That's why it's so effective. That could be it. That is absolutely could be it. The name of the lecture is Bobby Hemmett, live in London, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm looking at y'all comments here. The prison industrial complex is prominently used to place, but yeah, this is still something that's happening in real time in 2025, and people are still not actually hip to this fact that's still going on. Right? It isn't dumb. That's not a dumb question. Karen dropping. Oh yeah, she was cooking. I was cracking up the first time I seen her. I fell out laughing. I could not stop laughing, y'all. So you're good, William West. You're good. I think I'm the only white guy who's ever been on this channel. No, you're not. You're not though. But I mean, neglecting our own culture for foreign ones breeds confusion. Chaos grows when we forget our roots. Exactly, Prox. What's up? How long you been sitting there? Are you gonna sneak in here, nigga? I'm playing. Luke Cage is a great show. It has KRS-One guest starring it. It plays Shimmy Shimmy Ya doing it. Yeah, I'm on episode 6 now. Jessica Jones dropped the ball in the last season. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to Midnight Texas and the Defenders while I'm watching this though. Supercell, I heard about that one. I have not yet peeped that one. We all have the same taste. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I've been attacked by black friends using witchcraft. I didn't know anything about it. They robbed me. Yeah, okay. All righty. Bot, bye-bye. Bon appetit and namaste. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining me today. I didn't get out everything, and I wanted really to show y'all the clip by Umar. Another couple books though before I go, like the Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. When I started becoming first aware, like when I was in the Nation of Islam or following them anyway. This was one of the first books that I had, and it blew my mind, just like the Brother Files. Okay, all right. I think before people start learning magic, they should be learning a little bit of history before that happens. All right. Stuff like this is important. Okay. But this is the book that my son got me for one of my past birthdays. I love it. This is spells, potions, incantations from all over. As you can see, I've already marked it. Okay. I've marked it a little bit, but there are spells from all over. Like this first spell here is a voodoo doll baby spell. Okay. To make a doll baby, you fill a small cloth sack with herbs and flora, as well as any personal objects from its original likeness, and use twine to fashion the head, arms, and legs. Once the doll baby is created, you baptize it in whiskey, and you say, "By the gods, good and bad, I baptize thee in the name of the victim. From this point forth, use the name of the doll baby every time you address it. Every action you perform on it will be reflected in your target. To bind your enemy, tie the doll's hands. To bind your enemy to another person, tie it to another doll. For love spells, pierce his heart. For menace, pierce his genitals. Pin the doll down entirely to keep its likeness away from you entirely. This is a fucking smorgasbord of magic spells and potions. I love it. This was the perfect gift from my son. Maybe 2 birthdays ago, he gave this to me. You know what I'm saying? But if I can find, I should have did this shit. Because what this person did, you know what this person did? They collected spells from all over and put it in a book. They compiled a book from all over and just said what it was. None of these spells are original. She didn't make up any of these. She just put the shit together. I need to do that. Anyway. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all Friday. Okay. Thanks for joining me. We're going to keep it going on this one. I feel like it's needed. You know what I'm saying? And who else is speaking about it? All right. I'm the one and only. There's only one. The hilarious, the magical, mystical, and the diabolical Magick LaCroix. See y'all next time. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy the rest of the week. I'll see y'all Friday. Okay. As I greet you in peace as always. Namaste. Peace, y'all.